Hey, what's up? I just arrived at this little park in Indiana, and now I just got my McDonald's, so I'm gonna eat a little bit and see what this Trine Recreational Park has to offer and just video it. So welcome to my channel, and I hope that you'll be here for a while. I'm Davey Michaels, and I live in my van, and I like to travel around, and this is what I'm doing for today. I already ate the fries on my way over here. Now, making a McChicken that's squished between a McDouble is called a McGang. And my mom one time, she kind of thought that that was sort of inappropriate, so she forced us to call it a different name, and that name was called a McFranken. Dang it. You know, I feel like Casey Neistat kind of ruined anybody that wants to ride around on a skateboard with a video camera, because people are going to be like, oh, you're so much like Casey Neistat, you little copier. Speaking of Casey Neistat, I do want to talk about a strategy that I would like to implement in my videos and that you should shoot too. Oh my gosh, I'm going fast. You gotta be a little bit more careful when you're not paying attention while videoing. But first things first, let's get a few cinematic B-roll clips in there just to up the ante of the quality of this vlog. Okay, so speaking of Casey Neistat, here's somebody who grinds every day on YouTube, somebody that has over 900 uploads as I'm talking about it right now. Something we forget as content creators is that success doesn't arrive overnight. It doesn't for anything. Success doesn't arrive overnight for any sort of venture that you're doing. For very few people, and in the YouTube world, they're called unicorns. They just pop up and they're kind of magical and they have YouTube success overnight. Those kind of people might experience it, but that's 0.01% of the people that are on YouTube. The way that I'm trying to look at it is, if you start a channel and if you want it to do really well, it could take you anywhere from 1 to 5 years of constant hard work for it to go anywhere, or to get a couple of tens of thousands or maybe even hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And I'm not speaking of this from experience, because I only have like 277 subscribers as I'm making this. However, I have noticed a little bit of an increase from the first time that I started my YouTube channel, and how I went from maybe getting like 30 views a month to getting like 3,000 views a month. Now, I'm not anywhere close to quitting, and I'm not anywhere close to working as hard as I should. So part of this vlog and this video will be a way to keep me accountable so that I'm creating and uploading constantly. Remember this thing, the king of YouTube, PewDiePie, has over 4,000 uploads. If it takes you 4,000 uploads to get anywhere, you really have to be sure that you want it bad. And YouTube isn't my whole life, it's not everything, it's not what I want entirely out of life, but it is something, and it is a small business that I would love to invest in. And while I'm making this video as a small channel, the reasons for doing so is because I also want you to come along with the journey and attempt to maybe do the same if it's something that you really want to do as well. This last week I determined that I was going to make 7 videos, 1 every day, and I did. Now I haven't made a video in 3 days because I was working on a commercial for somebody. However, it's kind of like it was kind of an introduction to me attempting to work really hard at something like this. For anybody that really wants to do something, it takes a lot of dang work. And I really hope that I'm somebody that's willing to put in the work. So David, if you see this 5 years in advance and you're not where you should be in this, or if you got wimpy and quit and stopped vlogging, shame on you. All right, let's talk about another huge YouTuber, Jacksepticeye. This guy uploads twice a day. Twice a day. And he's been doing it for years. I just uploaded 1 video every day for the past 7 days, and doing it 2 times in 1 day, that's crazy. Like anybody else, and anybody that's running a big business like Bill Gates or something like that, I mean, obviously he's on another scale. However, you have to remember, these guys work their butts off. If you're an aspiring YouTuber or aspiring filmmaker or aspiring vlogger, remember, if we want to get there as well, we have to do the exact same thing. You know, something else that you also have to keep in mind is that YouTube, it has a tipping point. For a lot of people, you get to a point where they were small for a long time, but because of the amount of exposure and the amount of uploads they have, eventually the analytics in YouTube will take recognition and tip the scales of your channel, and that's when you kind of explode. However, you could all take this, you could be like, well, you're a tiny YouTube, channel, what do you have to offer? And honestly, nothing, but I'm trying to make an upload and be consistent with that algorithm. Say it's also really interesting if you determine in the moment to be successful, then videos like these could be really funny in the future, when you are. It could kind of be like a looking back sort of moment and laughing. So all of this to say, if you're doing anything for the right reasons, you won't stop. You won't stop making, you won't stop creating, you won't stop uploading, despite what other people, if it's your passion and if you love doing it, that's what matters. And partially why I'm making this video is because I fight a lot of discouragement. I'm fearful in my life of not being successful, of not doing a good job at whatever it is that I'm doing. And part of fighting that idea that I'm going to be unsuccessful is getting out there and working and grinding and doing whatever it is you have to do. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Davey Michaels and I live in my van and I like to make videos, so I hope you'll join along.